Hey guys, when the difference between winning and losing comes down to quality, choose Addicted Marine Performance Parts. What do they do, Hayden?
You know what? They're your go-to source for high-quality billet aluminium parts. Originally engineered for the intensity of race boats, but now it's available to upgrade your ski boat.
Very nice.
You know, they also specialise in cab plate hardware, performance-driven steering components and internal fit-out accessories. And they also supply Argo V drives and all the accessories to go along with them.
That they do. If you demand the best in marine components, remember one name, Addicted Marine Performance Parts.
Everybody out there, I want to know who wants to go fast? Let's go one.
Welcome back to the High Speed Garage podcast from our studio, thanks to Metworks. Shout out to Contrast Printing, Addicted Marine Performance for keeping the garage open. Thanks for that motorbike going past. Today we've got a special guest on our podcast, Glen Collet. So he's a brand manager for Aeroflow Performance Parts. How you going?
Very well, thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me into this flash new studio. Very impressive. Thank
First
you.
guest episode in here.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I'm very humbled to be invited. I'm surprised that I've actually got something to say that people would want to listen to. We'll see how that goes, and thanks very much for having me.
Yeah, no, we actually met at the Winter Spectacular. Rolf from Lucas Oils introduced us, and it was actually really cool. We should have had this set up a little while ago, but because everything's been so chaotic, it's just been hard to meet up. So it's really good to finally get you around here.
Yeah, no, thank you, and thanks to Ralph. He's a good friend of mine. I've worked with him for many years in New Zealand, and we still keep in contact now. And Rocket, and we're a proud seller of Lucas Oil as well for him. So he's a good top bloke. Yeah,
so it's actually not sponsored by Lucas Oils, but because he is such a good bloke, we thought we'd give him a bit of a shout out. Yeah. So that's a couple of drums of oil for us, isn't it, Nick?
Sounds good.
So we'll start with a little bit of where you come from, but before that, you sound like you've got a little bit of an accent, so I've got a bit of an idea where you're from.
Yeah, so I'm from the South Island of New Zealand, from a city called Christchurch, which is probably more famous for earthquakes than anything else. But but I've been lucky enough to be living in Sydney now for 25 years. So, wow. But the accent has definitely not left me, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't disappear, does it?
Do you prefer Sydney?
Yes, I do, actually.
Weather-wise and everything else?
Just weather and opportunity, and like Christchurch is a lovely place, but like Sydney, there's just everything at your fingertips.
Yeah.
It's an amazing place to live. It took a long time to get used to, I will say, because it's so vast and so big, but boy, you can be at Manly one day, up in the Blue Mountains the next. Yeah. Like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. Plenty of stuff around to do.
Yeah. Even though you usually find me in my lounge watching telly, watching sport or something, or car racing, but it's there to do it if you want to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what was it that actually brought you from New Zealand to Sydney?
I actually I moved from Christchurch to Australia to come work at Rocket Industries, basically. So I'd been doing a very similar job in New Zealand for 9 years for a big performance parts place company where I'd worked with Rolf. And I'd got to the stage, I'd been in the phone room, I'd become a sales rep, I'd become a southern branch manager, and I was looking for a different opportunity, and it sort of just all worked out, and here I am now.
Yeah, so you've jumped into the performance world way before you come into like New South Wales, Australia.
Yes.
So what was it that actually brought you into it apart from Rolf? Like, did you have a passion before you started with all that?
With the performance industry?
Yeah.
Well, I left school, and a bit of a backstory is my father is a drag. Was a drag. He's passed away a long time ago now, but he was a drag racer in New Zealand. He raced top alcohol for 30 years,
Wow.
which in drag racing had only been going for 30 years back then in New Zealand. So I hung out at the racetrack not every weekend, but once every month for my whole entire life. So, and then the company that I worked for in New Zealand was owned by another drag racer, and Dad got me the job, and another guy called Murray Buckingham got me the job, and I sort of just started there as straight out of school and carried on basically.
Yeah. So you've really known not much else.
I would say actually no, I don't actually, unfortunately, but it's a very niche industry, but it's a great industry.
Yeah,
and, you know,
It's very performance, but passion driven. I think you can't really get away from being in this job without having the passion.
No, I agree with that. And just the interest in it. Like when it does come down to it, yes, it is just big brown boxes or whatever, the same as everything else. But I get paid to talk about people's cars, their boats,
Yeah.
whatever it
Exactly
is,
right.
all day, every day. And yes, you're working. But
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
not
Yeah.
really, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like it's great. You know, what happened on the weekend? Oh, this happened, that happened. You know, you got the races calling, you got the crew guys calling. Like it's a fun time. you
Yeah,
know?
I could only imagine. It sounds like a pretty good job to me.
So how did Rockets come up? Like you got brought over from New Zealand to come into Rockets. How did that start?
So my girlfriend at the time, which is now my wife, who I moved over here with, so we'd been talking about opportunities and where we were going to go. And within where I was working, the head office was in Auckland. So I either had to move to Auckland to move up or go somewhere else. And then there was, in those days, a lot of the big American manufacturers had what they call manufacturer sales reps. And there was a gentleman called Chris Phillips, and he used to fly around the world. And he had some huge brands, and he knew both of the bosses really well because they were both good customers
Yeah.
of his. And he was like, hey, there's a job going in Australia. Are you interested? So he's pretty much teed it up. I spoke to the owner of Rocket at the time and the general manager, and I moved over, basically.
So what role did you move into?
I came to Australia to become what they call the key accounts manager. So I was basically looking after Repco, Bursons, Supercheap, all of those sorts of people, and to sell K&N air filters. So basically that was a product to get us what was a bit more than not the normal performance stuff. You know, like
Yep.
cranks and rods, you've only got your engine builders and...
Yeah, that's right.
Branch out a little bit, sort of thing.
Yeah, so to get us into the everyday car market, basically. So I came in and just flew around Australia and around and got it all rolled out into shops, and away we went from there, basically.
Yeah, it would have been a really good experience because like you're sort of taking the business on your own shoulders, taking it into new areas, aren't you?
Yeah, well, and we were lucky that the performance industry in those days was a little bit different. The owner of the company, he had a really great relationship. I'll use K&N as an example. He was personal friends with the owner, so we had the exclusive deal for Australia. So we could market it and treat it like it was our own brand.
Yep.
So basically that's what we did, and we sponsored lots of motorsports, lots of everything. We even did ads on TV and everything during Bathurst
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So it was an exciting time, basically.
So what do you reckon? Obviously things changed. What do you reckon the business is like now compared to the 2000s? Like that's where you sort of started.
Yeah. Oh, the business itself has certainly changed a lot, but I think it's more to do with the industry itself has changed. Like, we've always been Mickey Thompson slicks and tyres as well. I'll use this as an example, is they had like 10 part numbers in their whole entire range. Now there's like 100.
Yeah.
So the actual industry itself has changed. Like, so Edelbrock, we used to have maybe 300 part numbers in stock. Now we have 1,000 part numbers, just because of, I would say, the invention of the CNC machine helped, or
Yeah,
just
that's-
tooling and bits and pieces like that. And so as the industry's growing, Rocket's growing with it as well.
Yeah, well that's a bit of a realization. Looking how big that warehouse has changed like you've actually had to move sites to actually handle the amount of stock you need to hold.
Yeah, so I'd say it's probably 3 months ago, 6 months ago now, something like that. It's been a pretty wild couple of years. We actually implemented new software as well at the same time, so it's been a pretty wild ride. But we've just moved into a new 10,000 square foot facility, 4 buildings down the road from where we were, so we're at 26 Huntingwood Drive. So we went from a 2,000 square metre double mezzanine and then a bulk warehouse facility of 2,000 square metres, and we've pretty much doubled in size.
Humongous.
Just to keep going, basically.
And it's obviously a lot flasher and more modern in there as well as you walk into the counters.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a big difference, and it's good to see that the amount of money that's sort of going around the industry means the industry's not going anywhere, is it?
Well, touch wood, because I'm not sure who's going to hire me. It might be a little bit boring working on the front counter at Repco. No offence to Repco there. But yeah, it's certainly been an interesting thing. I will say, though, that Graham, the owner of Rocket, who's a Australian drag racing legend, he is a unique person that he has just dedicated his whole life to drag racing and to the business. And everything that him and Wendy have ever done is just to make... He's always wanted to go racing and want to go racing well, so it's made the company better every day. And he just puts all his resources and time and effort into it. And there's a great team that work there. And, you know, there's probably 20 or 30 of us that have been there for a long, long time that have put in a lot of effort, and it's been an amazing journey, you know.
Yeah. How many staff total do you reckon there is?
So on any given day, we do have a lot of casuals in the warehouse. So I think there's something like 112 on the books, but we try to operate with about 90 a day.
Yeah, okay.
And then the university students will come in one day or another day. But yeah, about 90 to 95 to keep the place running.
Yeah,
basically.
right. That's a fair effort for that many people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's a big operation. It's not something it's not just like a workshop.
No, and that's what people probably don't quite understand. I mean, I'm sure it's like for you guys when you're racing boats and that, you're like, oh, so someone will go to me, oh, so you're just a small little place, and you're like, because you'd look out the window, there's not a part on a car that we sell out there.
Yeah.
So, and people just go, oh, well, where does it all go? But it goes somewhere. And
The racing industry and motorsport industry in general is pretty big in Australia, like compared to our population size. It's, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you use it off, what do they say, per capita or per people, whatever it is, it's bigger than America.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'll use drag racing as a perfect example of what you're saying there. So this weekend's their first round of the NDRC, and there's 5 nitro funny cars and a population of, what are we going to say, 28 million maybe?
Yeah.
Last weekend there was the Phoenix Nationals in the NHRA, which is the pinnacle of drag racing. There was 16 and there's 350 million.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty, it's obviously I come from a different background to you guys, but it's a huge car culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's a big deal. Like, even still, with the amount of people we've got,
It's one of those things too, like when times do get tough, like they are sort of at the minute with fuel prices and whatever else, people still seem to find money to get their race cars going and all that sort of stuff. So it doesn't really... do you find it hinders you too much?
not usually.
Yeah.
Like, this could be a different one this time with the oil and bits and pieces but a lot of the people we sell to, it doesn't really affect them too much. But this could be an interesting one with people with big contracts with trucking companies or things like that. It could be different, but let's hope not.
Yeah, I think things are going to have to tighten up, just hopefully not too much. So back to your childhood, like with your father being a drag racer.
Yep.
You've obviously been around cars a fair bit.
Yes.
Did you have your own project car or race car or something like that?
I never had my own project car, but I obviously hung out and went to every race meeting as a kid, which was, as it turns out, one of the best things I ever did. At the time, I was probably dragging my feet. If my dad or someone could say, I wasn't too overly happy with it. But I was lucky enough in 1996, actually, so geez, that's going back a long time, I waited my turn and I got to drive. So I was lucky enough to race top alcohol in New Zealand for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, nice.
So I did 5 seasons, and then after that is my dad retired. He sold his business, so we sold the race car, which actually we sold to Australia as well. But yeah, so it was a cool time in my life. Like we were going up, being in Christchurch. There was a racetrack in Christchurch, but the main ones are in the North Island. So we were travelling every couple of weeks up, and we had a big bus that the back door came down that we built and everything like that, and away we went. So it was good. At one stage, I was lucky enough to be the fastest man in New Zealand. So only at the particular time there was people that had gone faster before, but they had retired and stuff like that by then. But yeah, so it was a cool time in my life, and I'm still actively involved in drag racing now. I still fly back and some forwards every year to crew for my friends in New Zealand and stuff like that. And I was just there last weekend actually. My good friend's got a 57 top door slammer. So we're just at the New Zealand Nationals. Unfortunately, it didn't go so good. It spat the drive shaft out on the track and took out half the reverser. And, but it was some good day drinking to go with that instead. So
Yeah, that is one benefit. When you break everything, you can just go and spend some more money at the bar and just forget about it all.
yeah,
You can still enjoy watching the racing once you've blown all your stuff up.
yeah, that's right.
So taking Aeroflow, we'll go back to Rockets, taking Aeroflow brand from just like starting to 11,000 products, that's a pretty big deal. What do you reckon the challenges that you've had to work through to get to this point where you are?
Boy, that's a great question. Every day is a challenge, to be honest, and we're lucky enough that there's a great team of people and we have full support from the owners that we can just work through whatever issues come up. But I think the biggest issue we had was finding the right manufacturers and trying to work out. It's such a different culture overseas to, they were in the business, I'll use this as an example, for fittings. I was lucky enough to go around trying to find all the different factories and bits and pieces. They didn't want to improve their product.
Yeah.
Because they were like, but if we improve it, then they won't buy another one. But we were like, but if you don't improve it, they won't buy it at all.
No one else will buy it.
Yeah.
You want to make something that everyone wants to buy. They look at it and go, well, I want that too.
Yeah. And then the thing with Graham, everything had to be, he would use it on his own cars if obviously it was made for a fuel car, which not a lot of parts are, but it needed to be of that quality because it's all about not selling once, it's about selling
Ongoing.
over and over and over. So
Yeah, it's one of those things. You give people a good product, it stuff wears out. Doesn't matter how good you are at assembling something, stuff will wear out. And if you need to replace it, you want to replace it with something that served you well, something that just breaks or whatever else. You're not going to go back and buy that again, are you?
no, exactly. It's been an amazing journey. I've got to see some amazing things around the world, manufacturing styles, environmental things that you're just like, oh, that's
Yeah, right.
you know what I mean? They're worried about our plastic bags. I think there's got bigger problems than that. I think so.
100%. Give us our plastic straws back.
Yeah, I agree. So, but it's been, and just to correct you, we're actually 13,200, which part numbers, which is we've just finished a few, and then we've probably got about 500 in the works that we're just finishing off now. So, it's been, but it's a team of people, and like when you're sitting down and we're all talking about it, buying the stock's the easy part. It's how do you get it to market? How do you store it? How do you shelve it? How do you market it? How do you get it to your distributors? How do you do this? And that's the great thing about Rocket. It has all those aspects to it that you can get that done,
Yeah. But obviously working with other high-end products that you guys deal with in Rockets, how is it that you guys can compete with that sort of product alongside it?
So basically, there's a couple of things for us that we, over the years, when we were doing a lot of these American brands and doing them very well, I was lucky enough to get to go to SEMA and sit down and have meetings with people, and we were trying to get them to change it to the Australian market, because
Yes.
Australia is very different
Yeah.
to America. You know what I mean? Like similar, but not really. And you know, we wanted to do. I'll use something like a shifter. We wanted it to have a right-hand drive shifter. We wanted to have a LED bulb through light so it could get ADR'd in our country, because it's a. You can put another brand of shifter in it, no problem. But then if you have a police officer that
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, you have an accident and
And
you know, insurance
insurance,
voids your
yeah.
claim.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
And unfortunately, and the great thing for the Americans is they were just selling thousands and thousands and thousands domestically. And
They
we'd,
didn't have to care.
Yeah, and we'd go, oh, we're super serious, we'll buy X, Y, Z. And it really wasn't enough to get it done ourselves
Yeah.
through them. So,
Yep.
so it was a lot of that, and another thing I'll use is America loves MPT, where Australia loves ORB style. So, they'd make this lovely tank, and it was all with NPT fittings, and
Yep.
we like things to go fast and look good too.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is much nicer when you've got an ORB fitting. It just goes all the way home.
Yep.
It's parallel. It's really good. You get NPT, you've either got a bit of thread tape hanging out the top, or
Yeah,
you've got
yeah.
a bit of thread sealer or something like that. And even just having that thread hanging out the back, it just looks nowhere near as good, does it?
No, I agree.
And that sort of consistency does make a big difference to the end user.
That's right. And it really does. And not just the end user, the shops as well. Your distributors, they want to be confident in selling it. So, and it's a point of difference as well.
That's right. So you guys have obviously decided that you're going to manufacture yourself. Like you're not just buying the product, and that's got a lot to do with your own quality control, isn't it? That's the reason why you go that way.
Yes, that's correct. Yep. So we're for quality control and for the changes that we perceive the Australian market requires.
Yes.
And we're lucky enough that Rocket's been in business for so long and has such a great distribution network. There's people ringing every day going, change this, change that, do this. Because no one wants to make, especially like if you're a good, say you're a good engine builder, you don't want to be making that part because it's going to take you an hour. So that's
That's right.
what's a good hourly rate these days?
$50, $200 an hour.
Yeah.
You can't pass that on to the customer, $150 for that nice little bracket, where we can get it made, sell it to him for 20.
Yeah.
He can,
You're making it in bulk, so it's not costing you so much time. And
and so all those people around have all come in and say, hey, do this, and that's how it has got so big.
Yeah.
Is all the advice from everyone, and if we get it to how they want to do it, they just buy their amount every year, and everyone else does as well. So
Like you said earlier too, the advancements in like CNC machines and things like that, it's not so much them, like the machine making a better product, it's just repeatability.
Yeah.
Like you can make exactly the same product a million times in a row and it's all identical.
yeah.
And that's where you can make it affordable when you're doing so many. It's in numbers. There's your big benefit. You're selling them in numbers. But if I make a bracket, like say the throttle bracket for a blower hat, right? I can spend 2 hours trying to make that in my shed.
Yes.
And it's not going to be looking real flash. Then I've got to go and get it anodised, where I can go to Rockets and actually just go over the counter and buy a product that you guys have already made. It fits an Enderley hat. It bolts straight on, and then it's
Looks
5
smart too.
seconds work
Yeah.
and it's job done.
Yeah.
So I think there is a massive benefit, even if we are making a lot of, like me and Mick make a lot of our stuff at home. But the benefit of being able to buy something off the shelf for an affordable price is a massive benefit to us.
That's right. And everyone's time poor these days as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
Exactly.
Like, that's 2
massively.
hours that you could be doing something
That's exactly right.
else with, because there's always, when you've got boats or cars, there's always something to do,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Best bit of advice I reckon I was ever given: go to work and earn the money to pay someone to do what they're competent in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to, put an extension on your house, instead of you trying to do it yourself, which you probably could do a bit cheaper, to take you a lot longer and everything else, you might save yourself some money. But if you go to work and make that money and pay them to do it while they're spending, a couple of weeks on your house, you work for those couple of weeks and earn the money. It's a better scenario. It's done quicker. It's a nicer job, and you've made the money doing what you know how to do.
Yeah. No, I agree with that too, actually.
So there's been quotes. I'd say you would have said it in a magazine or something like that. Like in an interview, you've actually mentioned drag racing is a home for us. These are our people. So what is it that makes you guys so connected and feel so special towards the drag racing community? Because you're pretty heavy in that.
We certainly are. I think it's the heritage of Rocket. Like Rocket's opened in 1974, so it's 51 or 52 years it's been going now. And Graham, who I mentioned before, an Australian legend basically in drag racing, he just grew up wanting to help other drag racers. Do you know what I mean? So for us, it's just, and that's how we treat the company every day. Every day we're racing the company like we're at the track. And drag racing, I'm not too experienced with boat racing, so I'll just use drag racing. Is the biggest thing people do when they drag race is they beat themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can do a time tomorrow,
Yeah.
but then you're not going to be happy with it because you're going to need to go faster and faster.
That's right. So every day we all arrive at work on the same mission to go as fast as we can, to do the best job we can, to do better. And then that's just a never-ending circle sort of thing. And then that's just where the company's come from, and we've just keep going through it. And drag racing is a very unique sport. Anyone with a car can be a drag racer tomorrow.
right.
Yeah.
You can whip down to, here's a shameless plug, to Aeroflow Race for Real on Wednesday night, pay your $40 entry fee, I think it is, and you're away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cheap as, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've been there a couple of times and put my bike down the strip, only because I don't know. I think my car's just a car. I'm not too fussed with that going down, but the bike's pretty fast and it's fun.
Yeah. And then it's a good thing to talk to your mates about. It gives
Yeah,
you
yeah.
something
Yeah.
to do. And then not everyone then becomes a championship drag racer or everything like that, but they go do it for fun.
It gives you a chance to catch the bug.
Yeah.
If you like it and go, shit, that was cool. I might put those exhausts on my car and see if it goes any quicker or whatever. And then before you know it, you've spent $500,000 and you've got
At
a
Rockets.
full blown drag car.
That's right. And that's what it is about too. It's about creating.
Advertising to the people.
And they're massive events too. Like there's that many people there. We're on when I went with Michael the first time, it was packed, and it
Yeah.
was just like an average cold night.
Yes.
And it
Yeah,
was
there's just that many people
there.
that just turn up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. I wish boat racing had something like that. We don't have anything like that. It's a bit too hard.
It's sort of impossible for boat races because we need.
We don't
need
really have
working river at
venues.
night.
Yeah,
You
we don't
can't
really have
do it.
venues that are just sort of set up, sitting there, ready to go. You can't just, like you can hire a track for a day if you're a drag racer to go and do some testing. We can't just go and hire the track. They're not a full time thing.
How does that work with, say, the Windsor? Obviously, we're close to Hawkesbury here.
Yep.
When you guys do, like the boat race I went to, so you've got to block that out in a calendar because obviously it's a public space. Is
Yeah.
that how that?
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
You apply through the waterways, so you all got that section of river. So they've got from the corner up past the ramp
Yes.
all the way down to the bridge.
Yeah, so you're
that's
talking to
just their section.
Service New South Wales to get the water access, and then you've got to talk to the council to get the land access and to have exclusive use so no one else can go in there. Like we do run a fair few club days down here as well, which isn't exclusive use, but we're allowed to use the land, but we can't solely have that to ourselves. So during summer, it's a little bit of a pain because you've got heaps of people trying to put their ski boats and stuff in because there's no other boat ramps around at the river. So it is a bit painful during summer, but yeah, when they have the big ones, they just book it out, yeah.
Okay. And to the council, is that an easy process or is that something?
You're talking about
Come on,
Hawkesbury
it's
Council now.
Working with the council, it's nothing's
right.
ever easy.
I think it's reasonably straightforward
It
because
is-
because
it
they've
is
done
just
it
the
for so long.
application, yeah.
So they the council sort of know when it's coming and all the rest of it, and it's a thing. But most other places, the council sort of generally gets behind events like that when they're bringing people in and pumping the economy up a little bit, but not Hawkesbury.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the one which will be gone by the time this comes out, but the one we're going to, the council down there at Yarra, they're that behind it. It's not funny.
Yeah, they throw money
everything at it.
Yeah,
It's rides. It's a absolutely massive show.
Okay, and that's so because obviously it's bringing so much money into the.
You couldn't get a hotel down there for 50 kilometres.
Yeah, wow.
yeah. They most of our big events, they try to make it more of a family show, and if you've got the council on board, it's so much easier for that stuff to happen. But yeah, it doesn't really happen around here.
Okay. Because it's Sydney, right? And
Yeah. everyone wants their own thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it was only a couple of years ago. They built a new playground down at the thing, and when we applied to get exclusive use of the whole park and that for one of the spectaculars, they said, "No, you can't have the playground." So we had to literally fence off the playground so people could still come in and use the playground, but couldn't get into the actual event.
So you had to walk, and you couldn't get into the event unless you're down near the clubhouse. So if kids wanted to play in the playground, you got to walk down there all the way back out.
Wow.
Play.
It's painful.
Really janky. Yeah. But that's just what happens when you're dealing with the council. So it's really good that you guys have got that exclusive use of that whole area.
Yeah, once something's built like that, like
Yeah.
it's a permanent thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. And another thing that's happening and it's come from drag racing, is roll racing is becoming very big.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you guys have
for
seen.
sure.
Yeah.
I
I've
haven't
never been
actually-
and watched it, but yeah.
No, me neither. But apparently they're getting like 20,000 people on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bonkers.
Yeah, and then when the racing finishes, they release the entries for the one next month, and they sell out within an hour on
Yeah,
that
right.
night
Yeah,
because
right.
they've got to keep it.
Yeah.
Drag racing would love that to
Yeah,
sell out
yeah.
the numbers. That would be, and I'm sure the boats would
It's a
love
bit. I've seen a little bit of it. It's a bit hard to sort of get used to, but I'm sure if you watched it enough, you'd get the hang of how it all works. Because I don't think it's the first person across the line that wins. I think it's like a top speed, not so much like an ET. It's like the top speed of the car that crosses the
Okay.
line.
In
I think
the 400 metres.
So I've
or-
only seen a couple. I went to one of the time attack events at Sydney Motorsport Park, and they had some roll racing on in between that sort of stuff. That's where I sort of first seen it.
Yep.
And trying to get my head around how like that car went across the line first. Why didn't he win? And
Okay.
I guess it's a bit harder when you're rolling for a start. Like how do you actually sort of say go and make sure they're even? So
That's
I
right.
don't know.
But
It's
a lot
cool,
of our big tuning shops say there's a big move towards it because there's less damage, like the impact from leaving the line.
Yeah, you're not stressing all your gears so much in your drive line and that.
Yeah, so people are really, and apparently you can just go around, and if you want, you can just go back around
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
keep.
Yeah.
You know, with drag racing, there's a few delays and bits and
Yeah.
pieces, but
Yeah.
apparently it's really good. But it's really taking off in Brisbane. They do it at the back straight on
Queensland Raceway?
Queensland Raceway. That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
They're doing it in Adelaide. They're doing it at Calder Park. So
Yeah, right.
Yeah, wow.
so people are out there using tyres, using fuel,
Yeah.
using oil, and trying to go faster for next time, which is
That's
what
right.
it's all about.
So we'll go back to the NDRC. We spoke about that a little bit before. You guys are actually the naming rights partner now.
Correct, yeah.
How did that sort of come together? Like, obviously, you have got a good connection with the drag racing, but that's another step again, isn't it?
Yeah, so for us, basically, when NDRC came out, now the NDRC is National Drag Racing Championship. It's actually owned by the same group that runs the Summer Nats.
Yes.
And Motor X and Rocky Nats and Red Sienna Nats. Geez, there's a lot of Nats
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
isn't there? But when they approached Graham and Rocket, they were like, this is what we're going to do. And we thought that is a perfect fit because they're in the entertainment business.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep.
Before that, the groups, I've got to be careful how I say this. Before that, the groups that were trying their best, but they weren't, they might have had their own agendas being drag racers themselves or whatever
Yeah.
like that, where they've come together as an outside, not really interested so much in racing themselves, but as an entertainment to bring management, event management and have a Jimmy Barnes at night and
Yeah.
this during the
Making
day.
an event.
Yeah.
An event.
Yeah.
There's a fine line with that stuff. I've said it to a few people in the boat racing committees and stuff. There's a fine line between pleasing the spectator and pleasing the driver, like the race driver. That's a hard thing. And the company, well, the clubs or whoever runs the show, they really need to work out who is actually the customer. Is it the driver of the race car, race boat, whatever you're racing, or is it the spectator? My opinion, it's the spectator. You've really got to please the spectator so they want to keep coming back to your show. Even if that upsets the drivers a little bit and they've got to change some things or do whatever, I think that's a better option.
Yeah, I agree. And then basically just to circle back, that's why we were like, right, we've got to get on board with this. They're going to do this. It was the first time they could go to other sponsors and come and say, right, there's this many social media clicks, this. So
Yeah.
really taking it to the next level,
Big benefit.
which is what you want to be a part of, right?
That's
And
right.
we want some of those people from the Race for Real to come through and just the sport to get bigger because we just love the sport.
Yeah.
Well, any motor racing, to be honest, or any type of anything. But we just want everything to get bigger so we can sell more parts too.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's the aim, isn't it?
Yeah. So, but and they are doing a fantastic job, I will say. Like they've had their teething problems, like everyone does. But boy, they've really turned it on. It's on mainstream TV. It's on a lot of different things, and I think it's a good thing. And if we can keep moving forward with it, and the sport grows, and more people come out of the woodwork, because I'm sure it's the same in your guys' sport. There's probably more cars in garages than there is racing currently.
That's right.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
And there's different reasons for them not being there. Some of them political, some of them financially. Most of them is it's just they just don't think, you know, for whatever reason. But if they all come out and then put on a better show for the people, then those people go home and then more people go watch, and then someone's standing on the hill going, oh yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
And then it's a knock on from there, really.
Yeah, the more people that get in and do it, that attracts more people to come out and do it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think that it's all about making it all more accessible, and when it's more accessible, it's more noticed, and then that's where you grow. But that's where I wanted to sort of jump on a little bit further on the NDRC. Like you guys are, it's now on 7 Plus.
Yes.
That's now streamed on 7 Plus. What have you guys found as a business? The increased visibility that you guys have found from being on 7 Plus.
I think it's getting to a different market, to be honest.
Right.
It's getting to the casual enthusiast. I think that's the correct word. If you're in the industry, we'd like to think that you've heard of Aeroflow or Rocket, but someone that's just sitting at home with their Volkswagen Golf that's thinking, oh, I might upgrade my fuel pump, he doesn't necessarily know of our brand.
Yeah.
But he's watching 7 Plus, and then we've got the opportunity to run advertisement, or it's on the cars, or a part of the class that we sponsor, or the Aeroflow Junior All Stars. We're across quite a few different things. I think that's a helpful thing, and then it also helps the business. So then when we go see big companies like Supercheap or Repco and go, hey, in our range there is some universal products like brushless fans, or you know, that suit every car. They're like, oh yeah, we've seen your marketing, instead of you walk in there and they're only used to Ryco, Bendix, Valvoline, Castrol. So that sort of side of it is the other side of the business too. So
Yes, it's a different way of marketing yourself to completely different people that you weren't going to get before. And we've noticed that with the circuit boat racing, being involved with the 7 Plus sort of brand. I'm going into workshops and people that I haven't even spoken about the race boat, and they're saying, oh, I saw you racing the other day. Like, well, I didn't even tell you to do it. Like, you've actually done it naturally, and it's a completely different market that we just can't get there unless it's on there.
yeah, no, I agree. And there's so many streaming services. This is a free one.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's the best.
Yeah. Everybody can get it. Anybody don't have to have
On your
heaps of money or
phone.
Well, it's definitely not free, but the end user doesn't pay for it.
sorry,
Someone
that's
else
true.
is.
Yeah,
And I
that's
think you
very
guys are one of them.
Yeah, that's right. And then just for us, like, the key to good business is having a great distribution network. So you're trying to help your customers thrive, not just survive. Do you know what I mean? So you can ring them up and go, hey, we've just brought in this new product. We're on all these different platforms. Like, we're on 7 Plus, we're advertising this. It makes them think, okay, well, these guys are moving forward. I want to be a part of this
That's
train,
right.
and they want to jump on.
Yeah,
do you know what I
yeah.
mean? And everyone's in business to succeed, basically. So the more that you can show them, because there's other brands out there and other companies, there's multiple other ways to do what you want to do, but we're trying to help them have it, so then it's just there for them to,
And they can grow themselves.
and they can do their job well, which they do their job well, and then helps them sell more too. So
The key word there is the help. So a lot of people, you know, you can go and buy probably the same part that you're selling. somewhere else, $10 cheaper, people will just go and buy that. They bought it online or whatever. But what they don't understand is you go to Rocket, you speak to somebody, you get their opinion to whether that is the right part or no, maybe you might need this one or maybe you need that one. Like some advice like that is worth the more money in itself. And, if you do take that home and go, yeah, no, that's not quite right, you can ring back up and you talk to the same person and get more advice on, that didn't quite work. What's the best way to go now?
Yeah, no, that's true.
That's
No, I agree.
after sales support, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. And then we try and offer that through the extension of our customers as well. So we have tech lines. So if the guy's in Townsville and he goes into our authorised dealer in Townsville and they can't nut it out at their end, they can call us and then we channel it through our distributor network. It's what it's all about. So it's like what I was saying before. It's about helping everyone thrive, not survive.
Yeah.
Because it's hard enough out there as it is.
Yeah.
With
That's right.
crazy stuff going on in the world every day without, making it difficult as well. So,
Yeah, it is a big change in the world. And with all these changes, are you noticing much difference between you guys are selling through the New Zealand market, are you?
yes, we do. Yep.
So what's the experience selling to the New Zealand market from Australia?
Okay, for us, we're very lucky. A DHL is a great service. We can ship overnight to New Zealand, to all major cities.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then what that helps New Zealand with is we can carry such a big range, and then they can carry their little bit, and then they can just service their customer with what we call the tail.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The slower moving stuff where you can't afford to carry all of that stock because you're only going to sell 1 or 2 a year, where in Australia you're selling 10 or 12 a year, and you help them like that. But it's a good little market for us, New Zealand.
You do have a Rocket style reseller over there, or are you only in your Super Cheap Auto and your Repcos and stuff like that?
No, so we have traditional speed shops as well over there, and we've got a couple of guys that are doing a really good job online and workshops as well. So we've got, because the range is so big, and this is with everything, with the range being so big, you've got fabricators that only buy fabricated parts. You've got engine builders that only buy blocks. You've got, there's very few people that can carry and do the whole range of product that we have. But we have multiple tiers of distribution, and it goes pretty well for us. It's good.
And obviously the benefit of having an online marketplace like you guys have already got, it means that, yes, you've got resellers over there selling your product, but if anyone wants access to your full range, they can just jump straight on your own marketplace on your website and purchase straight from the website.
Correct, yep. They can definitely do that. But we find that, now there's multiple levels of customers as well, but we find our industry, exactly like you mentioned before, is they love to talk about it. So they want to go in.
Yep.
That's exactly what I do.
Yeah.
I look up the website for what I need and get part numbers and stuff, and then I take that list straight in there. I don't bother ordering online. I'll just go straight there and then say, I want this, I want that, and then
Yeah, the interaction, I think, is the word I was looking for before, the interaction with their customer. Now, of course, there's online customers as well, but obviously at the moment with all these tariffs and different things going on, it's getting a little bit difficult to buy online because then they want different contents of taxes and stuff like that. So sometimes going into the local shop helps, you know what I mean? Or,
You can barter straight face-to-face, or you can actually discuss it face-to-face instead of just clicking a button and that's it. You guys also selling to the US market, do you? Or
we were actually starting to gain a lot of traction over there, and we were starting to go well. We were doing a bit of private label for a few companies, but
The handbrake would have been pulled on pretty hard there.
yes, basically. Now, and just like I was mentioning before about the tariffs, it's a very difficult.
Yeah, for sure.
The difference of writing down the wrong HS code can be anything from 25% to 150%, and everybody has a different interpretation of an HS code.
Yeah.
And in Australia, the HS code that we've allocated suits Australia. Now, in America, it might not suit.
Yeah.
So we can't even tell the customer we think it's going to be 25 and it ends up being 125. So they buy $1,000 and he's paying $1,025
Yeah.
$1,000 in tax.
Big change, yeah.
So
Yeah, that would have made it real difficult.
yeah, so we've kind of just stepped away from that and we'll just let the world.
Sort
Yeah.
itself out
Yeah.
and go back to it. Yeah.
We do pretty well in Europe, actually.
Really?
Is where we do very well. We were lucky enough to do a lot of good shows in the early days with Aeroflow, like Autosport International in Birmingham. That's a great show, and it's just so funny. You go to all these different shows around the world, and you're there, and then there's Jackie Stewart walking around. And
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, oh, what? Yeah, I mean, and then for them, it's just normal. We're here, like if you go and I'll say someone like Victor Bray's walking around or John Zapier, I'm like, wow, this is
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
But over there, it was all these guys that you've just watched on TV, just
Yeah,
walking
yeah.
around like no one seemed
Just
to be
regular
too
people.
Yeah, no one seemed too fast. So, so we did a lot of those shows in the early 2000s. In 2010 to 2015, and picked up what we consider a good distribution network in Sweden and Greece and Italy, and we're just going to let it grow by themselves. And
Yep.
as we add more products, they add more products, and it's just getting more and more. So
Yeah.
it's a good thing.
But obviously, what you guys sell over here in New Zealand is obviously going to be a different sort of products as well. What are you sort of selling over in New Zealand, over in Europe and America compared to what we're selling here? Like just the weird things that you wouldn't expect to be selling big.
So, say for example, in Greece, a lot of Volkswagen Golf high-performance fuel pumps, like 425 litres or 360 litre pumps, where we don't sell one in Australia, sort of thing.
Yeah,
or
right.
Volkswagen Golf fuel rails, and just a lot of other products, universal products, still sell well, and turbochargers and turbo screens and air filters and things like that. Basically,
Yeah, right.
not a lot of BK, LS, engine mount swaps or anything like that, unfortunately. But
That's surprising to buy from over here than something over there.
Yeah.
Sort of, it seems generic sort of stuff that they should have over there.
yeah, well, the European market, they purchase a lot from America as well, and obviously the pricing's advantageous, or everyone's always looking for a different alternative. One of the main reasons Aeroflow started is these big American companies that were family owned are now all owned by management companies. So
Yep.
I'll use K&N for an example, and I love K&N. It's been a magical ride selling their product. But we were the sole distributor. Now there's 12 distributors in Australia. So now you can imagine the race to the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, like I was saying about your customer network, then there's no margin for them. So it's sort of stuff is your product. So if you can have something as a point of difference,
That's where your benefit is.
Yeah.
And you can actually do some work making that better and increasing the price margin for you guys.
yeah, and your distributor, and away you go.
That's right,
That's
yeah.
right.
So what do you reckon over here in Australia? What's the biggest seller you guys are noticing over here? Hose ends, hoses, stuff like that, or is it more the mechanical parts?
Australia is a great marketplace. I would say your biggest sellers are within the unique engines to Australia. So your Barra stuff. So we're making a lot of different, because Barras are just going into
Yeah.
I won't say everything, but
Yeah.
There's a lot
of things.
yeah. So anything connected to that is just going through the roof, basically. Your Barra, your LSs into VKs, into VLs, all that sort of side of it. So it's a really good, but Australia it's big with a great car culture, but it's still nowhere near the American size.
Yeah.
A little bit of one product over a lot of products is a lot.
Yeah.
Is what I would say. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Do you just find saying that Barra swaps and LS swaps, do you just keep your finger on the pulse going, oh, that's selling really well, we'll increase that, or we'll make something new, or that where the customers come in and go, well, can you just make this to suit this?
That's exactly right. So it started with, say we had 20 things for it, and then the guy that's doing them all day, every day, will ring up and go, hey, I need this engine plate and I need this little fitting here that goes here, because it's an American truck engine, so it's on the wrong side or something, and it's hitting a cross member or the power steering rack or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And he'll just ring up, and a lot of the workshops have made them themselves, and then they just give you their sample.
Yeah,
and you
right,
do a
just-
drawing of it, send it away, and away we go. Give them, they test fit it, and away we go.
Yeah.
Because, like we were discussing before, it's the hourly rate is so valuable to be charging, to be doing something better. Like, especially the tuning of the engine or something like. That's a great thing. You don't want to be held up doing something else.
Yeah.
No, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. So obviously, you guys would have a few things that you'd be especially proud of that you sell. What is it you want to sort of talk about? The cool shit that you're not selling that you wish it was, because there'd be some stuff you'd be proud of.
Absolutely. We're proud of the brand. Like, we've taken it from something that was a concept and taken it all the way through. But we would love, the biggest thing about our industry is we would love to sell more consumables. Like, everything you buy a manifold, in theory, you're only going to need to buy that possibly once.
Yep.
But you'll sell gaskets
That's right.
every time you open it up.
That's right. Well, in saying that, we've just launched a gasket range, actually. So that's something that we're just working on now. So for us, we'd just like to sell more consumables. And now, in saying that, we've just launched a new tyre range. So we're getting into the street radials because of the roll racing, like I was discussing, and stuff like that. So we've started with one size. So by the end of the year, we should probably have 10 or 11 different sizes, and then we should be able to have a good part of the market there too, I would say.
Yeah, so you've now stepped into the tyre business on the street car side as well, not just racing.
Correct, yep.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Now, they are only, you can't use them on the street.
They're
so
still semi-slick sort of thing.
correct,
Okay.
yeah. So,
I've got a bit of a fun fact for you. You know who the largest manufacturer of tyres are in the world?
no, I don't.
Lego.
Okay. Well, now you say that actually makes complete sense now.
Largest manufacturer of tyres.
Yeah, wow. I'd love to know that figure. That would be huge, I would
That'd be
suggest.
astronomical.
Yeah.
I don't know what it actually is. I just know a guy that happened to be sitting on a plane next to one of the high guys from Lego, and he told the story.
Yeah, well, I've stood on a few in the house, that's for sure. When my son was young, that's for real. Oh,
Haven't we all?
yeah.
So have you got any builds you guys have had something to do with that you guys have had standing out to you?
We're involved in quite a lot of different ones, but boy, I've seen some amazing cars, and the standard of cars and everything these days is just gone another level.
Just steps up every time, doesn't it?
You go into the top 60 hall at Summernats, and it's just totally unbelievable. And what I like about that there is they'll have the car that won Summernats, let's say 3, and then you compare it to the car that won Summernats 38.
Yeah.
The days of being able to do it in your garage on your own, I think
Yeah,
might be
yeah.
over,
Yeah.
unless you're incredibly talented, which there's plenty of people
There
out
is
there.
a lot of them.
Yeah. But, geez, just some of the cars that are coming out now. Like 2 years ago, there was a Porsche that won the Summernats, which I bet you never thought you would
No,
hear
you wouldn't
that.
think that.
But I think it had something like $1 million worth of hours in it.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's just incredible what people are doing in their sheds and workshops and stuff like that.
Yeah. So,
Ideas. People get something in their head and go, that would be cool, and no one else has done that before. Let's make that work. They'll spend 3 years to make that.
Yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
spend 3 years to make a bonnet open some weird way that no one's thought of before.
Yeah.
that's right. Because there was that X-Safe. I think it
Yeah,
was an
that's the
X-Safe.
one I remember.
Yeah, the blue one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
it wasn't that. It was a few years ago now, I suppose. But yeah, that stood out to me. That was impressive. That thing.
Yeah. And it sounds like a bit of it sounds like I'm getting splinters because I'm sitting on the fence here, but I just appreciate anything. Like, I love a good HK, I love a good HQ, and then now a VL and the Barras and a Mustang. Like, I just love it all.
But you
And
just 100%, you just prefer race boats over
there
everything.
you go. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
But it is the same. If you're into something like cars, it doesn't matter what car it is. If
Yeah.
it's presented and looks immaculate, you can just appreciate the work and what goes on inside it.
Oh, and just the technology now, it amazes me. If you don't build a street car with 800 horsepower, it's not considered
yeah.
cool anymore. Like,
Well, these days you can make 1,000 horsepower with a factory engine in pretty much any car. You put a turbocharger on it, you make 1,000 horsepower, and no one would even know.
No.
It still drives normal. Like back in the day when people, trying to make 500 or 600 horsepower, the car would be lumping and jumping all over the lights and whatever else. But now you wouldn't even know. It just sits there and idles beautifully, and then all of a sudden it just goes boom, takes off.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Which is very handy because if you go somewhere to coffee and cars and you have a few drinks, your wife can still drive
Yeah,
home.
yeah.
If it was like that big, you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think that's the invention of the ECU, right?
Yeah.
The Haltex and the Lynx and the Holly Terminators of the world, it's unbelievable what they've managed to do to make them so drivable,
Yeah.
but yet so powerful.
And like, a fair few are pretty user friendly too. Like you can sort of YouTube a lot of stuff and run it like the Holly Sniper and that. That's really user friendly. You can just do your own stuff, or it learns for you.
Yeah, there's
Sort of
lots
plug
of
and play sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Like, it's just, honestly, like, I can remember when I was racing in the 90s, we were in top alcohol. We would have been lucky to have 1,200 horsepower, 1,400 horsepower.
yeah.
Where now that is a street build. And
Yeah.
we do a lot of shows, and we've got this really cool trailer that opens up, and we'd do probably 10, 12 events a year. So you're speaking to a lot of people in the field, and you're like, oh, what's your target horsepower? Oh, 1,000. And you see them 2 years later, and they've got their 1,000 horsepower. Like,
Yeah.
If someone had said that to you 15 years ago, you'd be like, yeah, righto.
Yeah, copy, mate. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now he's just out there doing it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
away he goes. So it amazes me.
So obviously during COVID, and obviously now this is a little bit different world, but during COVID, everyone was working on their stuff in the sheds, and like you guys would have been pretty busy, wouldn't you?
It was a very good time for a while. So yes, when everyone was at home, it was going crazy till the inventory ran out.
Yeah, you couldn't get nothing overseas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
manufacturing that
Yeah.
let you down, not the sales.
That's right. And we were lucky enough being one of the biggest, our inventory held out a lot longer than others.
Yep.
But there were stages where you couldn't get, custom aged head studs from ARP because they had only just, everything for them is a year out of planning.
That's
so
right.
they only have so many coming and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And then it was getting divvied up. 200 would come and 40 would go to that supplier. We were getting our share, but it wasn't a big enough share.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But it was a really good time, and it was a unique time, that's for sure. We're all sitting there in our offices wearing our masks and selling parts.
It was pretty bad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was,
How long did that take you to come back from?
to fill the shelves again on some of the key brands. Here's another example of what I was just talking about. K&N at that exact time as well were moving. So they moved to Texas, I think it was, and there was some border crossing that they couldn't go across. So, like, K&N filters were out for 8 months, some particular numbers. So they didn't even do manufacturing for. So it took a long time for it to come back, but once it did, it was good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So things like dart blocks were hard to find, and lifters.
Yeah.
And you'd be speaking to big engine builders, and they'd be like, we've got 10 engines we need to finish, and this one I can't get lifters, this one I can't get a camshaft, this one I can't get an oil pan.
Yeah.
So you were just like, wow, it was pretty crazy, wasn't it?
It was really difficult to deal with, especially seeing everyone struggling. Like a lot of businesses did struggle a lot because they didn't have the inventory.
Yeah.
I think they're struggling still too with, we were talking to a couple of guys with this big blocks and that as well. There's not many of them left in the country for Chev.
Yeah.
As well.
No, that's right. And then like now we've got a shortage of, because of all these different wars and stuff going on, a lot of the material is not being released for, what would you call it, hobbies. It's more than a hobby, of course, but let's just say for the hobby market. So last year you couldn't buy a set of diff gears in the world because the material was made for armour. The same 9310 something or other was made for armour. So it goes to them.
Yeah.
And then when it was available again, all the places around Ukraine and Poland, they had to start making tractors because they had to use that same material again to make tractors because the farming had moved from Ukraine where it had all been bombed. So in Italy, you couldn't buy a tractor. So it has to go in. That's when you realise how small our market is compared to the world and the problems that are going on. So
That's wild, isn't it?
yeah.
I never would have thought that.
That's a logistics issue that I wouldn't have ever considered.
Most people probably wouldn't unless you're in that game.
Yeah. Oh, and as you guys know, that's where boat racing would be good. You don't need diff gears, right?
Yeah.
So everyone should have gone boat racing.
It's essentially one of the cheaper motorsports. There's no suspension stuff, no diff stuff, no gearboxes, no tyres.
No.
It's just an engine.
So you guys have done a lot of social media stuff through the from sort of COVID onwards. It wasn't really, social media wasn't as prevalent before that, but because everyone was sort of sitting around, that's where it started to push. Is that what you guys had noticed? That's where you started pushing from there as well?
Yeah, absolutely. It's certainly a different world out there now. That's like once upon a time we used to land a product, put a ad in the street machine, wait a month or 2 months for the street machine to come out, and then the phone would ring the next day and happy days. Where now you've got to create high quality content nearly every day.
Yeah.
You've
Every
got to be
day.
on top of it.
Yeah, and then you've got to have a videographer. You've got to have a guy that talks well. You've got to have this, and then you've got to have the ideas, and then you've got to mix it up so it's not all just
The same
product.
thing, and it's boring for everyone. Yeah, they get over it and then they stop following you and whatever else,
And then picking up on the algorithms, and then the algorithms change because a lot of big companies, to get the 500,000 likes or whatever they did, they brought all those likes. You know, you did a sponsored post, follow.
Yeah.
And then so those are what they call dormant people. So you put up this amazing video, and if you're lucky to get 500 views.
That's right.
So it was a very that's something that we've spent a lot of time on, and the guys in that area have just done such an amazing job for Rocket and for Aeroflow, and now we're really seeing the benefits of it. But there's negatives to it as well. Like anyone can get on there and air their dirty laundry. So there's positives and negatives as well. So
The good will always come with the bad, but most of the time, if you're actually selling a good product and someone comes in negative feedback, they usually have a fair bit of kickback anyway. As long as you keep that quality up, then you can get through the negative feedback because most of the people stand up for it that have actually used it.
yeah, no, you're right there actually.
There's no such thing as bad publicity.
No, that's
That's
true.
what they say.
Yeah.
Your name's out there. If you got a good enough rep, the 10 people over
Spin
the
it
100.
around. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's right. But like the high quality content's the tricky bit. How do you change it up? Like we've just started, we do it here one day, there the next day, somewhere else the next day. That seems to help because it must pick up something in the background if you're always doing it in the same screen or something.
So you've got to change your background all the time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so the guys just will go, they'll do it in the warehouse, they'll do it in the office, then they'll go to the race car shop, they'll go outside, do it at the track or something. Like it's crazy, all the different algorithms. And then with Facebook and Instagram, they've just changed their algorithm again to a different style. So if you had interact with something, say for example, I love following the guys that eat the pies. The best pies in Australia. I love meat pies.
Yes,
hence why I look like this. And so I started following one guy, and then my whole feed now is just where to go. But it's great. You go on a road trip to Newcastle. I've got 3 pie shops today. But then that never used to be like that. Now they've changed it again. It's this is suggested for you. So,
So you're not actually getting things from people you've added on Facebook or you've liked their page. You're actually just getting forced.
Something that's similar to what you looked at. Yeah.
But it's even worse if you have a conversation with your phone locked in your pocket and you talk to your mate about something. 5 minutes later, you're looking through your timeline. And all of a sudden,
there it is.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable, isn't it? And crazy. I was talking the other day about one of the guys at work was cleaning his barbecue all weekend. And then the next, exactly like you're saying, half an hour later, look it up. And then there was a guy had invented a brush to go into your cordless, your power drill. And it was,
Oh yeah.
Clean it.
Yeah.
He got stung with the ad just afterwards. Didn't
Yeah.
He? Oh, that's bad. Yeah, it's not real good.
Considering you're following the ones that you want to follow, right? So you want to at least see some of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's great for that. Like you wake up in the morning and there's 8 race meetings going on around the world of all your different interests. You can see all the results, caught up to date, and away you go.
Yeah.
Where you got to go looking for it. In the old days, you had to wait for the magazine to
Yeah,
come
yeah.
or something, right? That was, or talk to someone. So
Even like streaming and that these days, like back in the day, if you didn't watch it live, you missed out. That's when you had to wait for your paper or What It magazine or whatever. These days, if you miss it, no one's really that stressed because I'll just watch it when I want to because it's streamed.
yeah, that's
It
right.
makes everyone impatient.
It
That's-
does.
that's-
It does.
You're right there. That's for sure.
Yeah, so I would not have thought, say 6 years ago, that Rockets would would employ their own social media manager and have people employed just to be doing the social media. That sort of time, like before COVID and stuff like that, Facebook was just something that you took photos of your food or like talk to your friends or like shit like that. Like now it's actually you, if you're not doing it, you're getting left behind, aren't you?
I agree.
The necessary evil.
Yeah, it really is.
Have to do it.
And it can get expensive too. Like you've got to it really does.
100%.
Like it's not cheap to sponsor ads, but it is good in that background where you can target it down to certain things, and like it's a very clever thing. But the more you spend, the more they want you to spend. We've noticed, but I'll say, like I said before, it all comes down to the content and the people interacting with it, and it certainly helps. You know what I mean? And we're lucky enough within the company with the owner of the company's race teams that we can do cool stuff with that and people like that. And then we're lucky enough to be at the Summonat, so we'll have the guy picture with the guy doing the mad burnout.
Yeah.
So it's a tricky thing, but we head off to a show now where there's 4 people doing what we would consider normal work. The technical guys, and then we've got the videographer walking around, and he comes back with 36 hours of footage, and then he just sits at his desk all day cutting it up.
Yeah.
And then we use that during the course of the year to show different aspects of our products, and if we're going to do something on air filters, and when he's been walking around the show for days and days, he's got 500 cars with them on there, and away it goes, and it seems to work. So
Yeah. You can use it to drive the way your business moves,
yeah,
it's a huge. You wouldn't have thought how much benefit that would have been.
oh, exactly.
So as life goes, things change,
Yes.
and we're seeing a lot of performance upgrades with, say, your electric models, like electric model cars and stuff like that. And we are seeing a lot of fast electric cars. Is there a way for your business to move through that direction to include the electric market?
Do you like electric cars?
Well, no, none of us like electric cars, but
I don't,
obviously
but I understand.
there is a performance area there, isn't there?
And they do seem to go very well, I've noticed as well. I was lucky enough before SEMA last year, I went to the Las Vegas Nationals in Nevada, and they even had a class for Tesla, and they were running, I'm going to say the guy that won might have ran 9.2 or something, which that's pretty good for, I'm assuming it was, obviously it's been hopped up however you hop that up. I barely even know how to hop up a small block Chev, let alone how to hop up an electric car. But there is a market for it, I think, and is it gonna happen in our lifetimes? I'm not sure.
The way things are moving, I'm thinking that it's gonna be inevitable. There's gonna be a performance shift, but there's way too many. I've always thought that there's way too many race cars out there with good engines. It's not going to go anywhere anytime soon, but obviously there's no plan from you guys to start looking at the electric market, is there?
Not at this stage. But what I will say is I ask a similar question to a lot of our good customers. I've even asked, people in way higher positions than myself what they think about it, and everyone is a little bit like myself and a little hesitant in what to say. But what I can think we could possibly do would be cooling, upgrade the cooling, like fans, lines, bits and pieces like that. Maybe there's an opportunity for us. I've heard that.
It's a start anyway to get you into an electric market, and then they'll start coming to you saying, "Oh, we need this, we need that," and then that's when it can grow from there, I suppose.
Yeah, but as far as having a crate battery instead of a crate engine, you never know. If someone makes one, we'll be keen to bring them in, and if that's what we've got to do to stay in business, we'll do that. But I'll use. I was lucky enough to go to the out to your guys' racing. The noise.
You can't get away from the noise. The noise is what gets people in.
Yeah,
You might have to start stocking sound systems.
Yeah, that's right. If you could bottle the noise and sell that, and then it's a boat, wide open throttle with a PSI on it, or a high, you know what I mean, or a nitro funny car, or whatever it is, whatever you like to listen to. That's where it's at for myself. But I'm old school as well, so I can appreciate that. But no one likes the no noise, right? Because what happened to Formula E? Was that an expense thing, or was that? I think
that was a requirement thing. They actually had to start looking at an electric style of racing, but everyone knows that was never going to jump off the ground like what a Formula One style thing
We're
does.
whinging about Formula One now.
Formula One's half electric now anyway.
Yeah, and we're complaining about that. So imagine that full blown. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, that's right.
I think I don't reckon it'll ever go that way completely. I reckon it'll always be there, because there's a lot of people turning away from, say, the net zero sort of route of going. Going, this just doesn't work. It's not feasible. There's no technology there. It's maybe 50 years down the track.
Electric
or
stuff
more.
will have part in motorsport somewhere, but it will never be a massive part, I don't think.
No.
Yeah.
It'll always be somewhere, because there's always that opportunity, or what I see. It's a new thing, right? So people like to have records and break records. So if you can be the first person to set, the fastest CT with an electric drag car, that's cool. Someone will do that just so they can have that record.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden someone goes, well, I think I can probably beat that record. So they do it a little bit better. And then that's how that section sort of grows. But I like the noise thing. You can never, ever overtake that with no noise. Doesn't matter how fast your car is. No one cares.
And what would you hear on the river on an electric boat? You just hear the water as it's slapping on the...
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Sounds like an outboard.
And like,
Yeah.
a lot of the newer outboards now, like all the good new Mercuries, they're pretty quiet anyway.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like there's nothing really loud, like all the four-stroke stuff, all the really new stuff. You barely even know it's running. You've got to sort of look back and go, oh yeah, it's pumping water, it's running.
I had to
definitely not
drive.
exciting
I had to
either.
drive one of those F4s when Bronny had her little one. I had a little turn in that, and I couldn't hear the engine at all, but I could hear the boat slapping the water as I was driving it in the cockpit. That's all I could hear. I couldn't hear the engine,
Yeah, wow.
and that is like a piston engine. So yeah.
For us to listen to that, like when I'm driving that race boat of ours, it's like this big angry thing behind you, and if I couldn't hear that, I don't think it'd be anywhere near as exciting. So I think racing is exciting, and I think that's the big draw card for it. So I don't think that it could ever disappear. It's too exciting, and then that's the benefit of racing.
I agree. As far as big events, like another big event like Power Cruise, they don't get a lot of spectators to Power Cruise, but it's a huge driving event, and it's all about doing your power skids and whatever else, and burning 400 litres of methanol, and just having a great time with your mates doing it. And then surely that can't be taken away.
No.
Yeah,
But I could be wrong.
You've just mentioned methanol just then. I think a big innovation you guys have taken on is actually starting to sell racing fuels. So your race fuels, what's the E85? You guys have started racing, and you're also selling the methanol and 44s as well.
Correct.
That's a pretty big initiative, isn't it?
Well, that was lucky enough. It was something that we'd always spoke about as a business, but we'd never had the facility to do it, because obviously you've got to have a dangerous goods, and you're only allowed to carry so many litres compared to floor space. So now, with obviously moving into that fantastic new building, we have a beautiful dedicated dangerous goods area, and so now we're bringing in containers of methanol, and then we're buying E85 and E98 just and sitting it there because we're right by the track.
Yeah.
It's another thing you don't need to worry about transporting it, whatever. You just know, come past Rocket, fork it in, and off you go.
Yeah.
So it's been really good, and we're hoping to expand on the range. Where that heads, I'm not too sure. Like, we'd like to do a nice 102 blend, something like that, or something. But we'll just see. Weirdly, though, what a time to get into fuel.
Yeah.
When you can't get it.
We literally just weirdly, I got the email this week from one of our suppliers, and it's gone up so much per literage, and you're just like, oh, well, we only just launched this.
Yeah,
But
thanks,
yeah.
guys. Yeah.
the only good thing about it is everyone's aware of it for a change. So once if you were to put your price up, then you get the, oh my goodness, these guys. But now everyone's fully aware of the situation. So
What's it been like partnering with Race Fuels? It's a business.
they're a fantastic business to deal with, actually. He's Sean, the owner, he's been amazing for us and very helpful, and it was a perfect fit. It's that consistent blend. You want to tune your car once and then just keep using the same fill. Not that there's anything wrong with the United service station down the road, but it does vary significantly from tank to tank.
The other problem with buying from a servo is they're tanks in the ground that deal with condensation and tank leakage and all that sort of thing. So you can actually get an inconsistent blend that's actually got water in it, which is another big problem that you've got to deal with. So buying it out of a sealed drum is always the preferred product.
Yeah.
And to be able to buy it off the shelf from somewhere that you know that's got stock, that's a really, really cool initiative.
Yeah. And once again, that comes back to servicing the industry. Like, we're here to help the industry as well. I mean, obviously, we're here as a business, but we're here as a service to the industry as well. So you don't need to, it's just one less thing you've got to think about on race day. You guys know well better than me, the organisation to go into a race meeting is epic, isn't it? It's days and days of, have I got this? Have I got this? Have I got that? If it's one less thing, you can just cruise past Rocket, pick it up, done.
Exactly right. Yeah. Right. Well, I think we've stolen a fair bit of your time today, and it's been really good to have you here. But we will throw a couple more questions at you. Mick's got his guest questions that he'd like to throw around.
These are guest questions that we ask every guest. They're a little bit rogue and they're a little bit strange. Nothing to do with sort of motorsport, just general
I'll have
questions.
a little sip of this Jim Beam then. Jack Daniels just
So, question one, which way do you mow your lawn?
Well, this is going to sound bad. I don't actually mow my lawn. I have a gentleman that comes, but in saying that, he only comes every second week. So in the growing season, I mow it in between, and I would go left to right.
So straight runs.
Yes.
Just back and forwards, back and forwards,
Yeah, righto. So no perimeter first, none of that stuff. It's just up, back, up,
sorry.
back.
Yeah, I'll go around the outside
and then just up and back. Yeah, righto.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I think that comes back to you go to work and he goes to work and one gets paid when the other gets paid.
Yeah.
All right. Question two, what flavour of milk is your favourite?
Wow, that's so on my cereal, I just like plain full cream milk.
Yeah.
But if I was in a shop, I would buy chocolate milk.
Yeah, everyone's obviously
That's that
going to buy
common one,
chocolate, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Coffee is a hot drink for me, so I don't get the whole hot
Iced coffee, yeah.
Yeah, I don't get the whole craze of that. My daughter, I go to Starbucks with her, and she's buying a $27 whippy wappy coffee. I'll just have a small long black, thank you.
I'm not really a coffee drinker, but I will have an iced coffee every now and then.
Okay,
Just like one of the Dare things from the servo or something like that. Nothing too fancy. I don't drink any real hot drinks.
A funny, just a little side thing. When you're in China, you have to specify hot. Otherwise, the first go-to is iced black coffee.
Oh, yeah?
So they look at you strange if you say hot.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just to...
Yeah, okay.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
Nah,
but you could get your tea hot, of course. But
Yeah, that's a good heads up when you go there.
Yeah.
Good thing I didn't drink coffee when I was there.
Question three. When you go to the toilet, where do you piss in the bowl? do you try to be silent or do you aim full blast at the water? Do you?
Okay, getting to that sort of certain age where you've got to go a couple of times. So during the night, so during the day, I'm just right in the middle to
Yeah.
keep it right. But then in the night, I'm off to the side, so I'm not waking anyone.
Yeah, right. Do you turn the light on?
No,
Have you ever sat down?
no.
Oh, okay.
It's way easier at night.
I should when I wake up some mornings and look though, but
That's not the bowl.
I go by sound a lot at night too. You aim at the water and go, yep, that's right, and it's a little bit to the left. Yep, that'll be fine. Yeah.
there you go. That's exactly right.
Beer, wine, spirits. What's your drink of choice?
I love beer, to be honest. But I am partial to a Jack Daniels or a bourbon as well. But beer is my go-to because I like to, when I do drink, I like to enjoy a couple. So beer,
Yeah, righto.
definitely.
Yeah, okay.
And not too fussed. I'm walk into the bottle store, whatever's on special,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
the case, right? Yep, that's
Yeah,
good. As
okay.
long as it's within my
Yeah.
genre, you know, you've got.
Yeah, yeah.
There's always
Proper
some.
lager.
Yeah.
Yep.
None,
Yeah,
of,
right.
none of the IPA shit.
Oh no, that's.
No, stay away from that.
In the in where I come from, and I don't want to come across the wrong way. That's considered queer beer.
Yeah,
100%.
So it's not worth the.
That one's for the city folk.
That's right.
yeah. All right, last one. On the road, do you speed or do you obey all the road rules? And do you get any road rage?
I don't get too much road race, but I pretty much race to work every day.
Yeah, righto.
Yeah, I'm a shocker for that. I drive a Ranger as well, so I'm the picture of a Ranger. You know, tailgate everyone in out. I'm one of those guys on the M7 where it's half a metre ahead. I'll change lanes.
Yeah. I do. I'm sort of like that too. And I get road rage a fair bit at people that won't get out of my way.
Yeah. But it's a tough thing. Like there's always something to be doing, right? You've got to.
Yeah. I think if you know the law enforcement on the road enforced more about the lane changing stuff, I think our roads would flow a lot smoother.
Yeah,
Like we're too busy worried about people speeding. I honestly think a 3-lane highway is more than enough to carry the traffic that we have if people use it correctly. If you're driving slow, stay in the left lane. Or even if you're driving fast, if there's no one in front of you, stay in the left lane. Come out when you need to overtake that person, then move straight back in.
Yep.
I think the roads would flow so much nicer.
I reckon you'd probably get more people speeding.
You
Like,
probably
Your revenue
would.
would go up because there'd be the right lane would be free.
Yeah.
So it'd be zoom, and then hang on, fuck, is it gone?
Essentially now, I reckon it's kind of backwards. I make most of my ground on the motorways being in the left lane
Yeah.
because no one's in it.
Okay. So
And then
everyone's on there.
when the traffic starts to slow up, it's always the middle lane and the right lane that slow up first, and the left lane just sort of keeps cruising, then eventually slows up down the road.
Yeah. Well, heading north, you can sit, say, going past the Hawkesbury and up that hill. You sit in the left lane, and you'll get to the top,
Yeah.
and not see a truck.
Yeah.
right.
Because everyone goes, oh, if I sit there, I'll be stuck on a truck.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you guys been to Germany?
No.
Oh my gosh. You get out of the airport and you just jump in this, let's say an Uber or a taxi, and he's just doing like 160 miles an hour, 160 kilometres, sorry, and it's just, you're just holding on for dear life. But it's exactly like what you're saying. Everyone's on the left. Well, they're actually driving the other way, but anyway. And it's just the other lane, you can just do whatever you like.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, it's good.
I just
Sounds good.
I think that's the way the government should look at things instead of speeding and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I was on the M2 this morning. Have they just put in an average speed camera on there?
I have heard that, yeah.
Hey, where about? Yeah, right.
I haven't paid any attention. I hope.
No,
Yeah, I've heard
it's got to be. Is it advertised?
Well,
I'm probably on one of the billboard.
yeah. I'm
In,
pretty.
in saying that, I think I have seen a sign, but I've probably never paid attention to it.
It's not a mobile phone.
So a lot of the average stuff was on the trucks, and now they've realised how much money they can make out of the car drivers.
There's 3 in the state,
Average ones.
average ones that work on cars. So there's one going south, there's one heading west, and there's one north.
Yeah, okay.
There's one near Taree Way.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There's one out heading west, say to Dubbo Way, I think. And then there's one on the Hume. You pass it on the way to Yarra.
That gets cars.
That gets cars.
Yeah,
They're
there's
written.
okay.
They're written and they're The average speed is normal, and then above it, this is the car one.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
And there's definitely one between Bathurst and Lithgow as well. I know that.
Yeah, right.
That might be the West
That
one.
might be the
Could
West
be.
one I'm thinking
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all our guest questions. So thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, and I hope there was something interesting for someone there.
Oh, there will be for
Yeah,
sure.
well,
It's a hard thing, you know. You're just doing your job, and before you know it, you're doing something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you don't realise the cool shit you're doing until you sit back and actually look.
yeah.
No, thank you very much for
No
coming
problem.
in.
Thank
No,
you.
thanks a lot.
See you all later.
See you later.